Welcome back to Central Valley Talk, where we celebrate what's good about Fresno, what's good about the valley, the state, the nation, the world. There's so many good things going on out there, and it's up to us to tell you about it. Something I've been looking into for myself lately is I'm trying to learn more about holistic medicine. So we've invited to that end, we've invited a doctor from India who studied holistic medicine there. Our guest is Aruna Katoch. Welcome.
Thank you.
So far I said everything right, I hope.
Yes,
Aruna
you're
Katoch,
right.
it's easy. Now, what we're going to talk about especially is holistic, getting ready to have a baby.
Right.
But before we do that, tell us what holistic medicine is.
Holistic medicine is where we are not talking about the one aspect of the body, but we are taking body as a whole. So when the whole is there and the approach is gentle and talking about the root cause, it becomes holistic.
Very good, holistic. Now, you are a Ayurveda medicine practitioner. It's about the art of the conscious conception.
Yes, my services goes around the art of conscious conception.
And when we say conception, you literally mean conceiving a baby.
Yes, we are talking about conceiving a baby.
Right. And you can get ready for that way before. Tell us a little bit about it. I have some slides that might help us out.
Sure. So conscious conception is more about how you intentionally get prepared for the things, and what we say to the people who come to us, that don't think just before you are doing that. And it's not like you planned and you conceived. Always give your time to get prepared for that. Even if you're going for a vacation, you take ample time to prepare. And this is a life who's going to live for 70 to 100 years, might be. So you need to be planned, taking a conscious action.
Right. And, you're right. We don't just say, I'm going on vacation, walk out the door. You have all this pre-planning. Give us some ideas about the planning for conception.
Yes. So our concept is that conscious conception is more like a bloomed flower. Or to get it more deep, let me ask you, if you're not growing anything in your backyard, and if I would say, what's in your backyard, what would be your answer to that?
I don't know. It's weeds?
Yes, so that is the right answer. Most of the time when you ask people and you say, what's there in your backyard, they say nothing, but it's not nothing, it's weeds. So it's similarly, weeds. Inside our body also, when we take the conscious action, means we are not working on that land, but we also have to work on the weeds and the other plants which is not needing, and taking the energy and nutrition from that. So that is what we are trying to do. And when you do it consciously, you're not only going to smooth the fertility journey of yours, you are going to reduce the complications, you're going to reduce the inheritatory diseases and the complication coming along with the pregnancy. So every step you are taking consciously at various levels, not only the physical one by just taking a couple of supplements. Maybe your body needs more than that, over-the-counter prenatal medicine. So talking all that, emotional health, the mental health, and all the different aspects of the health.
You say benefits of conscious preconceptions. You're going to increase the chance of fertility. What else?
The sperm and ovum can be programmed, right? They are the cells, and we hear a lot about that, how the cells have been programmed and how we can program ourselves. So similarly, we can program the sperm and ovum to have the attributes you want to see in your baby. Do you want the kid to be a sportsman, or you want him to be a geek? So you can do it beforehand. And that could be done when the seed was getting prepared.
Also, you're going to avoid some of the congenital abnormalities, reduce some inherited diseases and stuff like that. But that all has to do with preconception. You have to think about that beforehand. And hopefully somebody would have a guide, which we'll talk about, a guide such as yourself, to help us plan that.
Yes. And what happens when you are trying to have a baby and things are not happening? The most thing which is seen common is the strained relationship between the husband and wife, because now conception is not something pleasant moment for them. It is stressful. It creates a lot of like sometimes they are not on same platform.
Right.
And why they need to come out from the one opinion and look around, because the tools, the knowledge which will come handy to them to take this beautiful phase of life to the harmonious side, rather than just being a stressful part
This
of
is
that.
stressful side, yes. Tell us about the multidimensional layers.
Yes, in our program, we talk about the multidimensional of the health, because in Ayurveda, we talk more than the physical health. We do talk about the physical health, the energy health, the emotional, mental, and the spiritual health. Right? Everybody might not be conscious about the spiritual thing, or they don't want, but the rest of the 4 layers are very important, because everybody is aware that we transfer the diseases, the hereditary disease, from one generation to another generation. But this has been seen with the recent researches that not only the diseases, but you transfer the habit. There are certain family traditions in the eating which you are passing it down. And maybe it is the reason behind that. Maybe you are passing on the emotional trauma, your mental pattern. So that is, again, very important to understand.
Now tell us about the 6.8 million germ cells.
Oh, yes. This is so important because the sperm and ovum are 2 different cells. Mm-hmm. And how they are different, because the ovum keep on reducing. When the female fetus is inside the mother's womb, it has near about 7 million germ cells which are able to produce a new living being. But by the time the female is born and the mature, the fertility age of the lady, she only produces 400 ovums. So that thing is reducing down, and every time the ovum is coming out, that doesn't mean it is at its optimal health. Whereas in case of men, people ignore that part, but the sperm needs 2.5 months to get mature, whereas in women's, the ovum only takes around 1 month. And people just take their sexual health for granted and read a lot of things rather taking a professional advice, and it makes a lot of difference when it comes down to the quality of sperm and ovum.
But you can work ahead of time to make sure you get the healthy cell.
Yes, and not only healthy in terms of just health, because we are living in the world where a lot of pollution at different level is going on, right? We are having a food which might you have bought from the organic market, but our soil is depleting. What about if it is not organic? So it is being cultivated with the pesticides, the synthetic fertilizers, and we are consuming everything. The perfumes we are having, the creams and other stuff we are applying, we are contaminating. Women get a chance to detoxify at the time of menstruation, but men's don't.
Men do not.
So, clarifying your body to have that optimal level of health at your sperm and ovum,
Preconception.
you have to go to different levels of the purification.
Yeah,
and the emotional detoxification is so important.
So it makes so much sense what you're saying.
Yes.
Who could argue that? So anyway, you said the most amazing thing before we came on the air about your grandmother, your great-grandmother.
Yes, people, most of the time when you talk about the hierarchy and the ancestral lineage, people just ignore that. But you need to know this thing, whether you're a man or a woman, your cell which was conceived and made you as a human being was present when your mother was in your grandmother's womb.
Wow.
Right, so this is so linked together, and you cannot deny that.
What you've said makes so much sense. You want to get ready. You want to get ready for this. And there's a lot of steps. So we just went through a whole bunch. It's hard for me to keep them straight. So it'd be great to have a guide.
Yes.
And you have maybe a special offer for people who are interested in taking control of their preconception, which everybody should.
Yes. And yes, I do offer 30-minute call with them where we try to understand what they need, because everyone is different in Ayurveda. We don't take everybody as one. So everybody has their own special needs, and we try to identify. And from there, we start the journey, like how to continue and what they exactly need in their journey.
We'll put this QR code up at the end and leave it on, because people can just scan that and get in touch with you. So we talk about prenatal care. This is the ultimate prenatal care.
Right.
Your kid's going to be, what you said, 60, 70, 80, 100 years old, and what you do now is going to affect their entire life. So why not take a little time, prepare and plan your preconception?
That's true.
I'm very, very inspired by this. I want to run and tell everybody. We're out of time, but anything else you want to tell our viewers?
The only thing I would say is planning is very important, and when you are conscious of your decision, it's more like you are listening your favorite music every time somebody is calling you and your phone is not on default mode, and you are setting your choices, your priorities at the top, and start investing in that individual who is going to continue your lineage. It's not investing in them, it's investing in you, because if you have the optimal health, or whatever health you have, that's you're going to transfer to them. So that is important. Once you become the best of you, you will definitely going to have the seeds which will going to have the baby of your dreams.
By the way, I didn't have these on the screen, but I just put them up. Here's your web address. How do you say the address?
Yes, so this is ayursaar. My website name is ayursaar, and you can either go through the QR code and you can come and book a discovery call. And I'm happy to answer all your questions.
Will they find more information of what we talked about there?
Yes.
Because it's a lot. We covered a lot. In I said, you only have 10 or 12 minutes, and she covered it. I'm glad you brought those slides. So thank you so much. If you're just getting married, or you're going to have a baby, or thinking of having a baby, the biggest decision you make in your whole life. So take your time, make a plan.
Yes.
And Dr. Aruna Katoch.
Yes.
Dr. Aruna Katoch, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm going to put this QR code back up there. I'll leave it for all. Scan it. It's free to call, right? Or free to have the testing. We'll be back with more Central Valley Talk right after this.